You're watching Talk with Audrey. Welcome back. Since 2014, 30 vehicles have been added to the National Historic Vehicle Register. It's a program created in partnership with the U.S. Department of the Interior and Library of Congress to celebrate and catalog the world's most significant automobiles. Joining me live from the National Mall in Washington, D.C., Diane Parker, Vice President, Hagerty Drivers Foundation, and Jonathan Klinger, Executive Director of the Hagerty Drivers Foundation, to tell us all about this year's inductees. 4 cool and important cars that will be shown during the Cars at the Capitol this month. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Diane, tell us more about the Hagerty Drivers Foundation.
So the Hagerty Drivers Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization which was started by Hagerty. 20 years of philanthropic efforts put into this Hagerty Drivers Foundation, where we celebrate the National Historic Vehicle Register, historically significant vehicles, but also young people, and giving them the opportunity for training, ensuring that finances are not a barrier for them, where they can apply for License to the Future grants so that they can get driver's training.
And Jonathan, why does the Hagerty Drivers Foundation feel that this is an important mission?
So celebrating culturally significant automobiles is it's a way to share with everybody that cars are more than just transportation. They have had a significant impact in shaping society today. Just like this 1952 Hudson Hornet that's behind us. It's not just a car from 1952. This is the car that dominated early NASCAR. And it also, more importantly to a lot of your viewers, this is the car that inspired the character Doc Hudson in Pixar's Cars film from 2006.
Well, automobiles are a special part of our history, and they also are featured prominently in entertainment and sports history, right? So what other cars are being inducted?
So in addition to this Hudson Hornet, next week here on the National Mall, we're going to have a Chrysler Turbine car. And this is a program in the early 1960s where Chrysler was experimenting with alternative propulsion. And so they had 50 of these Chrysler Turbine cars that they tested with the general public, and they were powered by a jet turbine engine. And they were pretty successful. They had very futuristic styling for their day. But at the end of this multi-year test, they were just simply too expensive to operate, and so it just ultimately didn't develop into being a regular vehicle they offered. But nonetheless, it's an exciting part of our automotive history, and the manufacturers have long been experimenting with different types of powertrains, just as we are today. So that is also an important car for us to add to the National Historic Vehicle Register and share the story with enthusiasts and the general public.
Was the turbine sort of a precursor to, say, electric vehicles?
It was a precursor to always experimenting. Is there something better? Is there something more exciting? And so in addition to internal combustion powered vehicles that we're mostly used to today, the automakers have always been experimenting with what could be better. And we're seeing that live out today with electric vehicles and hydrogen powered vehicles.
So tell us more about Cars at the Capitol. I understand that one car will be displayed every week this month.
So we will have this car, the fabulous Hudson Hornet, will be here through next Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning we'll switch that out for the number 32 car on the register, which is the turbine car that Jonathan was just talking about.
From what I understand, cars aren't allowed on the National Mall, so it's pretty terrific that the Hagerty Foundation can share and celebrate automotive culture and heritage in Washington, D.C.
That's correct. That's correct. You can't sell, market, or advertise anything on the National Mall, but that's not what we're trying to do. We are trying to teach history and share America's automotive heritage.
And it's a great opportunity for anyone who's in Washington, D.C. to visit the National Mall to see these really cool cars. So where can we go for more information about the other cars that have been inducted and for more information about the exhibit?
So for more information, you can go to driversfoundation.org. That's also where we have our License to the Future granting. So if you click on that, then young people can apply for those grants and get that driver's training.
My guests today have been Diane Parker, Vice President, Hagerty Drivers Foundation, and Jonathan Klinger, Executive Director of the Hagerty Drivers Foundation. We've been talking about this year's inductees, 4 cool and important cars that are going to be shown during the Cars at the Capitol this month. And if you have a young driver in need of driver's training, Don't forget to check out their License to the Future grants to apply for a grant to get driver's training. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you so much for having us.